Hey everybody, and welcome to today's screencast from Einstein. And today's topic is going to be the importance of keywords in domain names in terms of search engine ranking, and that we all struggle with getting our websites to rank well under our money searches. You know, if you're a Sarasota plastic surgeon, clearly the word you want to rank well under is the search for Sarasota plastic surgery. And we see a huge correlation between domain name and search presence. So let's go do a few searches on Google and talk about these domain names, and then we'll look at some other research that's been done, and then we'll take a look at how to acquire some of these real strong domain names so you can leapfrog your competition. And what we're finding, maybe the quickest way to move yourself up the ranks without doing a ton of ancillary work. You know, rather than building a 700-page website, a lot of times a better, more targeted domain name has a similar effect, because what better way to catalog something? So let's start with the search for Sarasota plastic surgery. And here's your search. You'll notice the very first result that's a free search result is the exact combination of the search itself. And over again we see geography and specialty being the biggest hinge point for these search results. So you look here, Sarasota plastic surgery. The second result is Lakewood Ranch plastic surgery, which is the next market over. Again, it's geography, specialty, and the presence of the keyword that you're searching in the domain name has huge implications in the results. And it's just like how you would organize. You look at a library of books, and title tells you the subject of the book, and the least common denominator from a search standpoint is domain name. That's the title of the website. And a website called lightbulb.com, it's a reasonable thing for Google to say, well, that's probably about light bulbs. So let's do a few other searches. This is probably New York LASIK. Now this is interesting. Here's your search, and take a look at these. I mean, this is probably one of the most competitive searches in the world. That LASIK surgeons do the highest volume of income of any specialty we work with. And so look at these results. From New York LASIK, you get right off the bat geography, specialty, NYC LASIK. Second result, NY LASIK. Third result, Park Avenue LASIK. I mean, over and over again, geography and specialty are what people search in our local industry, which is medicine, law, dentistry, you know, things that are local. Plumbing, you know, it doesn't really matter, but people are searching the place and then the specialty. So let's take a look at some other ones. This is, I think, a real interesting result. Web hosting. Like, this is probably one of the most competitive searches there is. And take a look at these results. The number one is website hosting. You know, and again, it's the presence of the keyword in the search has a huge amount of relevance to the search. It's a reasonable way for Google to organize its results. It tells you the significance of something. So this right here is a chart that SEO Moz, which is a big group that really is on the cutting edge of search engine optimization, and this is what they say about keyword usage in domain names, that an exact keyword match in a root domain has the largest influence. In root domain, keyword is present, so this is kind of like Naluri plastic surgery. We've got the guy's name and then plastic surgery. You can see how the presence of the thing you're searching in the domain name is probably one of the highest order things you can do for your search traffic. So now let's move on again and talk a little bit about where do you get some of these domain names. And Einstein, about 12 years ago, went out and bought some really powerful domain names. And we built this search tool. So if you go right here to eiidomains.com, you can search by specialty or market and find these top level root domains that we've put together. And so you look at these, like IVF Boston, That's probably the #1 domain name you could have as an infertility specialist. That Dentistry Boston, again, if people are searching location and specialty, that's going to have, if your current domain name is Dr. Jones and you want to come up for Boston Dentistry, these kinds of domain names have radical usefulness. Let's take a look at LASIK. So here's LASIK by LASIK KC, Cincinnati LASIK, and if I even take markets, let's go New York, IVF New York, LASIK New York. I mean, that thousands and thousands of searches are done for that every month, probably more than tens of thousands. And we see over and over again that all the big minds in search engine optimization say, well, it stands to reason that if someone types LASIK New York into Google, a domain name that's LASIKNewYork.com is probably the most valuable. So that's the whole webcast, is this kind of sequence of the value of the search, where you go to look for them, and then after you do that, come back here to Einstein and call this number, 866-337-5456. And we really want to get people into these domain names. They really don't have any value until there's a website sitting on them. And we're starting to believe that it's mission critical to get clients and potential clients having these smoking hot domain names so we can get the traffic and start to really take out your competition in the market. So that's today's screencast. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you at the next one.